I bought this yesterday from Paradise Guitars and thought it'd be kind of fun to fix it. Apparently it's broken. No idea what's wrong with it. No signal. I started working on this delay in 2019. I asked my friend Jack DeVille to kind of help me out. And, I figured he'd give me the bones and I would kind of design the sounds around it. I think the same week that I designed the germanium fuzz pedal, I found myself in my RV in my driveway, which I had set up as an office. That's when Jack handed me kind of the breadboard. It was just like this massive thing with wires hanging everywhere. And by the time I was done with it, it just looked like a bomb went off. And I changed it. I think about a year later, I decided maybe I should finish it off and got into it. And again, there was a bunch of stuff I didn't really like about the technology. I wanted it to go from like super fast speeds to super slow speeds with one knob. You're trying to like strike a balance between noise, delay time, functionality. I wanted to incorporate an LFO and I wanted it to wiggle. And I wanted it to be pretty intense, and it just wasn't happening with the buckets. I kind of stuck this, I call it a karaoke chip. It's a PT2399. I think it was in a bunch of karaoke machines in the 80s, just to add echo. And what I ended up doing was I stuck that right where the Bucket Brigade chips actually went, so all the associated circuitry was the same. I realized I could get like 1200 milliseconds out of it, relatively clean. Most PT2399 delays, you turn the time all the way up and it kind of sounds like a vacuum cleaner or something. And what I was getting was actually musical, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I think I'm gonna go with this often maligned chip. There is a few things that I wanted my delay to do that was completely informed by being like an Echoplex repair center for a while, which is kind of my favorite tape delay. Generally, they skew a little brighter than analog because you don't have clock noise to contend with really, but I did want it to be more in like a tape territory than like a Maxon or a Memory Man style. The sound of a Bucket Brigade delay isn't actually usually the buckets. It's actually all the stuff you wrap the buckets in. The compander, which is a compressor expander chip, and you kind of get to like dictate how fast that operates and at what kind of levels. And then also all the filtering before and after the bucket line. And the compander is really what people are hearing. Buckets sound like gobbledygook without all that stuff, and so does the PT2399. All right. Oh, I see the broken wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend I'm Brian Sowers and seek to unwind this a little bit maybe, and then resolder it. Maybe we have a working Echoplex. I kind of wanted to just get the sound I liked, all the features that I use into one pedal. I wanted it to go fast enough to do chorus. I wanted it to go all wet so I can use it for recording engineering. I wanted it to have a pretty, fast onset for the feedback because I love kind of like making spaceship sounds. and I wanted a very versatile LFO. So this actually has like sine wave, square wave, and totally random LFOs for different types of sounds. And then I had a bunch of artists begging me to put tap on it, so that was a whole other deal that I worked out with my friend Octave. We kind of incorporated Antoine Ricaud bond tempo technology into the tap tempo, and I think this might be the first like kind of mathematically perfect tap tempo. Another thing that I kind of wanted to incorporate in this was I use a lot of self-oscillation during live shows, and I really wanted a way to do it without really having to bend down or use an expression pedal or anything. So I made it so if the feedback's up a little bit, it won't work if the feedback's down. You can actually hold down the tap hold button, and then it'll start oscillating, and then you can actually use your toe to move the time knob gently. You don't want to stomp on it, but you can actually get different pitches in the self-oscillation, nudging it back and forth. And when you're done with your aliens landing sound, you can release that button, and it'll go back to normal if that's what you want. Basically, I'm a very selfish guitar player and designer, and there's a lot of delays that I have really loved over the years, but none of them really had all of the features and or sound that I wanted, and that's why I made this. Yeah. Yeah, this tape is a little foobarred, a little brighter, a little more distorted than I would want, but hey, we got it working.
Rad.
Yeah.
Cool. Neat.
Had to do a lot.